Hi, welcome to the Motion Picture Notion. I'm your host, Gabriel Burton, and today I'm going to attempt something that might be impossible, but we'll see. I'm going to attempt to review Supernatural Seasons 1 through 11 in this one video. And hopefully I can do it. I was going to wear my Supernatural shirt, but then I figured I'd actually show off my tattoo. This star thing is the Supernatural tattoo. I didn't feel too good about having a pentagram put in it because I figured that people that didn't know wouldn't get it. But anyways, this is how much I really love the show, or at least in the beginning. I have to tell you that I was not hooked on the show immediately. Somebody introduced me to it. It was one of those things where I didn't mind sitting down and watching it with them. And I remember even from the first 3-4 episodes, I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty creepy. I mean, they were a lot scarier than a lot of movies that came out at the time. The thing is with season 1 is it didn't really get me hooked because it was really mostly a bunch of filler episodes. A yellow-eyed demon who killed their mother, their dad's been hunting them, and now their dad is missing. And they finally find him in the last episode. Turns out he's been possessed by the yellow-eyed demon, and the demon gets away basically because Dean refuses to shoot his own father, and his father gets pissed at him about it. And it leaves off with a crazy cliffhanger where they all get hit by a truck, and they're all laying there in the car, Sam, Dean, and their father, bloodied and just fucked up, and that's how the season ends. And I'm like, oh, damn. But again, still new to the show, didn't really have that much of an investment in it yet. Now, season 2 gets even better, They introduce a little bit more humor with Sam and Dean, but the most important thing is the way the season begins, where Sam and Dean's father basically sacrifices himself. He sells his soul to the yellow-eyed demon, who he hates and has sworn to kill, just so that he could save Dean, because after the whole car wreck, Dean is basically in a coma, and we're introduced to Reapers, and a Reaper has come to Dean and basically says, no, it's your time to die. Dean finally starts to come to terms with this, and then their dad makes the deal with the yellow-eyed demon, and Dean is saved. So there's also a lot of filler episodes in this, but it's really about finishing up the story with the yellow-eyed demon. Basically, at the end of the season, it's one of my favorite season finales. Sam gets stabbed and killed, and then Dean sells his soul to a Crossroads demon to save Sam's life. And she gives him a year, basically 1 year, and then the hellhounds will come and they'll fucking rip you apart, and then you're going to hell. But Sam will be alive. They open up a fucking hellmouth in a graveyard, and then fucking Sam kills the guy who killed him in cold blood, shoots him multiple times, and he looks like he's kind of enjoying it too. And there's the whole thing of how do you know that what you brought back was really Sam, kind of a thing. So that's something else that Dean has to kind of live with. But anyways, they've opened up this hellmouth, and now they have to get it closed. They finally kill the yellow-eyed demon. They do close the hellmouth, but in the process of having opened it, they release all these fucking demons onto the world. And now it's sort of also a countdown to when's the hellhound going to come and kill Dean, and how's he going to find a way out of it, which brings us to season 3. The thing with season 3 that changes it up a little bit is it's not as dark and has that dark filter on it like the first 2 seasons. It was during the writer's strike, so it's the shortest season. It's only 16 episodes, but I'm here to tell you right now, the season 3 finale was the point where I was I'm fucking hooked on this show, because goddamn it, the hellhound gets Dean. And you literally see Dean getting fucking shredded. He's ah! And it's oh man, I can't believe they went there, but they did. And the last frame you see is Dean hanging from a bunch of meat hooks in hell, and he's just going Sammy! Move on to season 4, okay? Dean gets raised from hell, alright? We find out that it's Castiel, who is an angel and who winds up becoming one of their best friends. Yeah, he raised Dean from perdition because he was trying to stop Dean from breaking the first of 66, I believe it was, seals that is basically going to, you find this out later, but basically open up hell and release Lucifer so that the apocalypse can get started. Dean breaks the first seal by torturing an innocent in hell, which is basically what they do to you. They torture you and torture you and torture you mercilessly until you can't take it anymore, and you're basically okay, I agree, I'll do this to somebody else so that I don't have to go through it anymore. What was a month or so, our time is 30 years in hell or something like that to Dean. So basically he was there for 30 years, and he finally broke down and he finally did it. And he broke the first of the 66 seals, even though, Castiel went down there to get him, he didn't make it in time. And now they're season 4 is about them trying to stop the seals from getting broken. Alright, while this is happening, Sam is basically he's drinking demon blood. The thing about it is he can exorcise people without killing them. He literally just like holds out his hand and he just pulls out the fucking demon smoke and boom, they're done. Demon's dead and no harm comes to their vessel. So you understand why he does it, but still he's being kind of a moron. He becomes addicted to it and it changes him. And there's a demon that they have been after, for a couple seasons named Lilith, who's like a really, really big, like high up demon. Sam and Dean have a falling out. Friggin' they get into a fist fight and that whole shit happens, and basically Sam's like not listening to Dean at all. Dean's slamming on the door like trying to warn him and stuff. Sam kills Lilith with the power that he's gained from all the demon blood that he's been drinking. Well, turns out that killing Lilith was the fucking last seal. Now, boom, fucking hell opens up. And that's how the season 4 finale goes. Fucking epic. Everything was building up to season 5, and season 5 was hands down the best season of Supernatural, period. And it literally opens up, you hear Thunderstruck by AC/DC playing, and it was just like the most epic opening to a season of television I've ever seen. They've opened up the gateway to hell, and Lucifer is coming. And the guy who's the original vessel for Lucifer is the guy who played Jacob from Lost. And he was exactly the way I would always picture the devil. He was likable and intelligent, and he was your buddy, you know? Come on, we're pals. He was just a manipulative, conniving, evil dude. You just kind of like him in general because he just really comes across, come on, man, you could trust, pal, I got you, here, have a beer. And it's sort of like, oh, I don't know, Lucifer, but alright, okay, if you say so. Ah, I got you, motherfucker, you know. That whole thing was good, and there's like a lot of tension between Sam and Dean, you know, the whole I can't trust you thing, which is understandable, and, you know, there's like a huge rift in their relationship, but it turns out that basically the way the apocalypse is supposed to go down is that the Archangel Michael is supposed to go into Dean's body, Dean is supposed to be his vessel, and Sam is supposed to be Lucifer's body, and the two of them are basically at the end of the apocalypse supposed to go head to head, and that's how the world ends. And of course Sam and Dean aren't about it, but finally after all this futility, Sam comes up with the idea, well, what if I said yes? What if I said yes and I let the devil in, and then I fought him and I jumped into this hell pit that we would open. In order to create this hell pit, they need the rings of the 4 horsemen. There's like war, famine, pestilence, and death. And Death is such a cool character because Dean has a sit down with him, and Death basically says to him, like, you know, yeah, I am like older than time itself, and yes, one day I will take your god's life. You get into some really heavy shit. But Death basically gives Dean his ring, and he says, here, I'll let you borrow this. He goes like, on one condition. He goes like, you let Sam jump into hell and end this. Like, it really comes down to like the final fucking thing where their half-brother, Adam, I think his name is, basically, that's the vessel that Michael winds up using, and he goes to meet Sam, aka Satan, on the battlefield where they're supposed to have the final showdown, and then here comes Dean with the Impala over the hill, and he's blasting, I got something to say, it's better to burn out than to fade away. And it's just like, Dean, you fucking maniac, you know? So the devil beats the living shit out of Dean, snaps Bobby's neck, explodes Castiel, everybody's fucking dead or dying, and then last fucking second, Sam catches a glimpse of like this old G.I. Joe or little green army man that's wedged into the side of the door, and he remembers being a kid and he's the one that jammed it in there, and all the memories come flooding back, and for that very moment, he is able to just kind of like harness the devil, and both he and Michael, so Sam, their half-brother, Michael, and the devil all just fall into this fucking hell pit, and it closes up behind them. And it's like, you know, and on one end of the spectrum, it's sort of like, I don't want Sam to suffer for all eternity. On the other end of the spectrum, it's sort of like, it's over now. And that was where this series was supposed to end. It was an amazingly epic hour of television, and frankly, they should have ended it there. And then they tacked on this little 30-second blip at the end of the episode. Dean is having dinner with Lisa, this girl that he fell in love with, and her boy, you know, and he's kind of like Mr. Family Man now, and all of a sudden, like, the street light kind of flickers, and you see Sam, like, walking up to the house down the street, and then it, like, cuts out. Honestly, they could have even left it with that, just sort of a cliffhanger to give you, like, a little bit of hope, but also to kind of make you wonder, like, oh my god, is that Sam or is that the devil? But alas, they did go on with other seasons. Now, I have decided about this point in time that I am not going to do a review for seasons 6 through 11. I'm going to do that separate. But I'm going to have fun reviewing those seasons because, you know something, they're not all bad, but There's a lot more I would like to discuss, let's put it that way. Either way, like, to me, those first 5 seasons were, like, just beautifully executed, and I kind of wish that they had kept them that way. And that's all she wrote.